One evening in the village of Baraka, Na and her husband Kofi approached the grand family compound where Maame Efua and Abena awaited their arrival. Na's heart fluttered with anticipation, her hands trembling slightly as she clasped Kofi's arm for support. "Na," said to Kofi, "I hope they'll accept me. I want nothing more than to be a part of your family." Kofi squeezed her hand reassuringly, his eyes filled with love and determination. Together, they stepped forward, ready to face whatever awaited them. "Na," greeted her in-laws. "Good evening, Maame Efua, Abena. I come to you with respect and humility as your son's wife, Na." Maame Efua's gaze was icy, her lips pressed into a thin line as she scrutinized Na from head to toe. Abena stood beside her, arms crossed over her chest, a look of disdain etched on her face. Maame Efua said coldly, "So this is the girl Kofi has brought home. You look like you've never done a day's work in your life." Na's heart sank at the harsh words, but she maintained her composure, refusing to let their judgment affect her. Na pleaded, "I may not have been born into wealth, Maame Efua, but I am hard-working and eager to learn. I promise to do my best to make you proud." Abena snorted derisively, rolling her eyes in disgust. Abena, the sister-in-law, started, "Ooh, please, spare us the theatrics. We know your type, always looking for a free ride." Kofi stepped forward, his expression a mixture of frustration and protectiveness. Kofi made it clear to them, "That's enough, Abena. Na is my wife, and I won't tolerate anyone disrespecting her. She may not come from a wealthy family, but she has more kindness and humility than anyone I know." Maame Efua's gaze softened slightly at her son's words, though a hint of skepticism remained. Maame Efua, feeling defeated, said, "We'll see if her actions match her words. Welcome to our home, Na, but know this, you have much to prove if you wish to earn our respect." And with those final words, Na's journey into her new family began, marked by the daunting challenge of winning over her skeptical and unforgiving in-laws. As past, Kofi had to go back to work in the city. Na found herself left to deal with her in-laws' hostility within the new home. As Kofi was leaving, she stood alone against the biting tongues of Maame Efua and Abena, who seemed determined to crush her spirit with every passing moment. "Look at her, lounging around like a lazy cat. Can't you see there's work to be done?" Maame Efua's piercing gaze bore into Na, her lips curled in a disdainful sneer. "You call this cooking? It looks more like a disaster waiting to happen. If you can't handle a simple meal, how do you expect to take care of my son?" Na's heart ached with the weight of their words, her every effort to please them met with harsh criticism. But despite their relentless attacks, she refused to cower in defeat. One evening, as Na attempted to prepare dinner, a simple mistake ignited a storm of rage from Maame Efua and Abena. "What is this mess, Na? Do you expect us to eat this slop?" Maame Efua's voice dripped with contempt as she delivered her verdict. "I've had enough of your incompetence. Tonight, you'll sleep outside, where you belong. Maybe a night under the stars will teach you some humility." With a heavy heart, Na complied, her eyes stinging with unshed tears as she lay on the cold ground, her only comfort the distant glimmer of stars overhead. But even as she endured their cruelty, Na's resilience remained unbroken. Determined to find a way out of her misery, she summoned the courage to suggest the idea of purchasing new clothes, hoping to present herself with a shred of dignity amidst the chaos. "Maame Efua, Abena, I was thinking perhaps we could go into town and buy some new clothes. Mine are quite worn out, and I would like to look presentable." Abena scoffed, her laughter ringing with mockery. Buy you clothes? Why waste our hard-earned money on someone who can't even appreciate what she has? Maame Efua's expression turned icy as she delivered the final blow. You're lucky we even allow you to live here, Na. Don't push your luck with such foolish requests. Learn to be grateful for what you have, her mother-in-law said. And so, Na's attempts to find solace within her new family were met with nothing but rejection and scorn, leaving her trapped in a house that offered no warmth or compassion. Yet, even in the face of such cruelty, Na refused to surrender to despair, clinging to the hope that one day she would find a place where she truly belonged. Na found herself entangled in rumours in the village, spread by Maame Efua and Abena's malicious tongues. Each day brought new challenges, but she was strong enough to face them. One afternoon, Na got news that her husband was finally coming home. As Na toiled under the scorching sun, she was going to pick yam to make her husband fufu. She overheard snippets of conversation between neighbouring women. Have you heard about Na? They say she's been sneaking off to meet other men while Kofi is away. It wouldn't surprise me. She's always been too friendly with the menfolk. Na's heart sank as she listened, the weight of their accusations crushing her spirit. She had always been faithful to Kofi, her love for him unwavering despite the hardships she endured. Later that evening, as she prepared supper in the dimly lit kitchen, Abena sauntered in, her eyes gleaming with malice. Na, I heard some interesting gossip today. Care to explain why the neighbours think you're a loose woman? Na froze, her hands trembling as she gripped the wooden spoon tightly. How could Abena stoop so low? Na, voice barely above a whisper, said, I don't know what you're talking about, Abena. I've never betrayed Kofi's trust. Abena smirked, her lips curling into a sneer of disbelief. Save your lies, Na. We all know the truth. With a flick of her wrist, Abena swept out of the room, leaving Na alone with her anguish. Tears welled up in her eyes, threatening to spill over, but she blinked them back, refusing to let her tormentors see her weakness. That night, as Na lay in bed beside Kofi, she couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal that hung heavy in the air. She longed to confide in him, to seek solace in his embrace, but fear held her tongue. What if he believed the lies, too? And so, Na endured each passing day with a heavy heart, the weight of the accusations pressing down on her like a stone. But deep within her, a spark of defiance flickered to life, fueling her determination to prove her innocence, no matter the cost. In the midst of the village's bustling market day, Na found herself amidst the vibrant chaos, tending to her modest stall of freshly harvested vegetables. The sun beat down relentlessly, casting long shadows across the dusty ground as customers bustled about, haggling over prices and exchanging jovial banter. Amidst the hustle and bustle, Elder Mensa, his weathered face adorned with lines of wisdom etched by years of experience, approached Na with a nod of recognition. Na, my dear, may I steal a moment of your time? Na, her hands busy arranging her wares, paused to acknowledge the elder, a mixture of curiosity and apprehension flickering in her eyes. Of course, Elder Mensa. What brings you to my humble stall? Elder Mensa, his voice carrying the weight of authority, tempered with compassion, leaned in closer, his words a whisper amidst the cacophony of the market. My child, I've seen the hardships you face, and I want you to know that you're not alone. The village elders stand with you, ready to offer our support in your time of need. Na, her heart swelling with gratitude, nodded in silent appreciation, the weight of loneliness lifting ever so slightly from her weary shoulders. Thank you, Elder Mensa. Your words are like a soothing balm to my troubled soul. As the day wore on and the sun dipped towards the horizon, Na felt a newfound sense of hope blooming within her, fueled by the unexpected kindness of the village elders. Amidst the bustling market, amidst the chaos and noise, she found peace and was consoled. She felt that she was not alone, but rather surrounded by a community of allies who stood ready to offer their support in her hour of need. During the village celebration, Na's culinary prowess stole the spotlight, impressing even her toughest critics. "Na, your cooking is amazing. You should open your own spot." One of the villagers said, "Thank you all for the praise. I'm humbled by your suggestion." As the aroma of her dishes filled the air, even Abena couldn't resist joining the chorus of admiration. "Na, you're truly talented. You should consider starting your own business." With encouragement from the villagers, Na's confidence soared. "Starting my own cooking spot? It's something to consider. Thank you all for believing in me." In that moment of celebration and encouragement, Na's path took a new turn, filled with possibilities and the promise of a brighter future. With Kofi's unwavering support, Na ventured into the city to set up her own cooking spot, far from the judgmental eyes of her in-laws. "Na, your cooking deserves to be shared with the world. Let's start something special for you." Na's cooking spot quickly became a hotspot in the city, attracting customers and forging friendships. "Na, your food is the talk of the town. You've got a real talent." Meanwhile, in the village, Na's in-laws couldn't ignore the success she had achieved. Maame Efua was once heard saying, "Maybe we were too harsh on Na. Look at what she's accomplished now." As they struggled with household chores, the in-laws couldn't help but feel a twinge of regret for mistreating Na. "I wish we had treated her better. Now we're missing her warmth and delicious meals," Abena added. Through her perseverance and talent, Na not only found success, but also bridged the gap between herself and her in-laws, teaching them the value of kindness and forgiveness. As curiosity and perhaps a hint of remorse haunted their hearts, Na's in-laws decided to pay her a visit in the city, eager to witness her success firsthand. "Perhaps it's time we see what Na has been up to. We owe her that much." Arriving at Na's bustling cooking spot, they were greeted by the aroma of her delicious dishes and the sight of customers enjoying her meals. "Maame Efua, Abena, welcome to my humble abode. Please respect my space and rules here." However, old habits die hard, and the in-laws soon found themselves overstepping boundaries, expecting Na to cater to their every whim. Maame Efua would call on Na, saying, "We need your help with this and that. Surely you can spare some time for your family." But this time, Na didn't hesitate to assert herself, drawing a line in the sand. "Maame Efua and Abena, I appreciate your visit, but you must respect my boundaries here. I run this place, and you will abide by my rules." Caught off guard by Na's newfound assertiveness, her in-laws had no choice but to comply, realizing that Na had grown into a force to be reckoned with. Though their visit started with skepticism and a hint of regret, it ended with a newfound respect for Na and her accomplishments. From that day forward, they understood that Na was not to be trifled with, and they would have to respect her, whether they liked it or not. Indeed, it's a valuable lesson to learn, to respect others' boundaries and appreciate their achievements. Naya's journey teaches us that kindness and perseverance can lead to success, but also that asserting oneself is crucial in maintaining that success and commanding respect. In the end, mutual respect and understanding are the cornerstones of harmonious relationships, whether it be within families or communities.